I am not exaggerating when I say I have thought about this on a near weekly basis since it happened because I cannot believe what went down here.
Yes, I was hit by a car at the Park Dallas sample sale yesterday.
We've lost our humanity in the name of consumerism. Honestly, I couldn't fathom not wanting to bring somebody to justice after I'd been hit by a car because I'd rather wait in line for a Park sweatshirt. When it gets to the point where we're doing WWE SmackDown for Park,
come spend one of the worst days of my life with me. I'm sorry, come to the Rhode pop-up with me. And then I waited in line for 10 fucking hours.
Right down the road, they had influencers that they flew in, that they were given free product, and meanwhile they're hosting the most haphazard disaster class of a pop-up for their even more loyal customers. Get out of here! It's a mosh pit. How I move knowing I just shoved and elbowed 12-year-olds to get this roller rabbit drop. So we're knocking out, beating down on 12-year-olds to get consumer bullshit at Target. What are we doing? No, honestly, it's gone too far. Well, another day, another Rhode drop, okay? This time, perhaps the biggest one ever. They're calling it Rhode's best drop of all time. So why am I going through the new Rhode launches? Well, it's a big deal to many people who sort of religiously follow Rhode. This was a pretty big launch, and to celebrate this huge launch, they did a Rhode pop-up, which they are taking on tour all around the United States. It's just excitement all around, okay? So this video was posted by Rhode, and this is clips of their pop-up that they recently had on Rhode Island. And, you know, they collaborated with the Nitro Bar, which apparently is like some coffee company. So they're giving out like free lattes and stuff to the customers that showed up to the pop-up, okay? All the new products out that people could test and they could try in person. People coming around. Lots of fun, guys. They're giving out popsicles to people. I mean, doesn't get much better than this, does it? Okay, waiting outside to get some products in the hot sun. There's everyone's favorite terry cloth bag in the corner. Everything looked very idyllic from what Rhode was posting. Like, guys, come on down, have some fun, get some free things, get some products, try them out before they eventually launch on Sephora. So at this point, they had already launched on the Rhode website. Of course, many things sold out very quickly, as they usually do with Rhode because of the popularity of things. But they are going to become available soon on Sephora, but they're not out technically yet. You know, at this point, they were going to be out in like maybe a week or 2 weeks, available for purchase. So this was kind of like an advanced viewing of sorts, and there were some exclusive items. Okay, so people had to get there early.
Hello, good morning. We are at the Rhode pop-up. There it is. It is currently 1:37 a.m. and we're on this is the second day. 7 people in front of us.
Yes, you heard that right. So they're there at 1:30 in the morning. Okay, by the way, this doesn't open up till 11 a.m. They're there at 1:30 and there's still 7 people in front of them. Guys, this is really serious stuff. So you got to get there early or you're not getting the exclusive items and different things like that.
But we're doing this because I had FOMO the first day, so I was like, I need to come the second day. And I want a sweatshirt, so we're here.
You know, a lot of people feeling FOMO because there was a humongous turnout for day one. Okay, you will soon see just how many people showed up for this thing. And I will go as far as say, I don't even think Rhode knew how many people were going to show up to this pop-up that they had in Newport, Rhode Island. That's kind of the nature of these things. You know, they get a lot of hype online. And I think that a lot of these brands enjoy the fact that people are standing outside waiting at 1 a.m. It's like free promotion for their brands and stuff like that. So people feeling like FOMO, seeing all the exclusive products that people would get. So there was one exclusive item that you can only get if you attend this pop-up, okay? And it is the Rhode Island sweatshirt. So here it is. Nothing special. It's $110 too. Yeah. So for $110, you can get a sweatshirt that says Rhode Island on it. I think on the back it has like the tour stops, okay? As if it's like a concert t-shirt. Guys, it's an ugly brown sweatshirt. Certainly not worth $110 in my opinion, but that's what people really, really were waiting for. And then of course, I can't get over this. I won't get over it. I detest this bag. So anyway, this was another big thing that people were wanting to get. This sold out like within the first hour, I think. This, you know, terry cloth bag. Ugh. God, it just makes my skin crawl. Actually, there's something just abominable about it. Oh God, anyway. All right, moving on. So anyway, that was another thing people really wanted to get. Rhode pop-up day 4. So this was the arrival time, 3 a.m. Guys, there's people camping out. Obviously, we've seen a lot of people in the past. I've made this video 18 times, okay, where people are camping out, like, and every single time I act surprised. I'm like, oh my God, people are waiting outside. But every time I am surprised, I'm like, what's going on? Okay, we're waiting outside at 3 a.m. for Rhode to buy. Let me just explain this to you, okay? We're waiting outside, camping outside with blow up beds and chairs and blankets, through the night to be able to purchase products. Guys, nothing here was like free other than puffy stickers and temporary tattoos. That was it. Okay. Nothing else was free. Everything else you have to purchase. And the best part about all this, like I said, the only real exclusive was the sweatshirt. Everything else is going to be available for purchase on Sephora or has already launched on Rhode.com. It's going to be available for purchase on Sephora in less than 2 weeks at this point. There's actually no reason to do any of this. There's no reason anyway, but like there's really no reason to do any of this unless you really just want this like sweatshirt. Okay. It's insane. Okay. And look at how many people. This is 3 a.m. and like, look how far back they are. And in contrast to the aesthetic videos that Rhode was posting about this amazing, perfect day for the Rhode pop-up, people in reality were not having so great a time.
I've been at the Rhode pop-up since 7:30 this morning. It is 2:30 and I'm still in line. It is so hot. The sun is beaming. They aren't giving out umbrellas anymore because people were stealing them.
Yeah, people are roasting in the sun right now. I think I saw some people say that it was like over 90 degrees outside this day, so it was scorching hot.
And yeah, if I don't get that sweatshirt, I'm like, Mrs. Bieber will rue the day.
Look, guys, in pursuit of this exclusive sweatshirt, the things that people are doing, I think that this is a really great example of the way that a relationship like this with consumerism and with things is leading us to ruin our own lives. I know that seems kind of like weighty to say something like that, like really? Okay, is it really ruining life? And I'm going to venture to say, yeah, I do believe that it is, okay? It's causing people to act in their own disinterest and do things that are really shocking, as you will soon see.
Come spend one of the worst days of my life with me. I'm sorry, come to the Rhode pop-up with me. I got in line at like 7:30 in the morning. I got my wristband at 10:30 in the morning, and then I waited in line for 10 hours. About 250 people cut me in line. I had to hunt down a security guard that I befriended for a nice coffee. And then I got one of, if not the last sweatshirt.
Yeah, people not having a great time. It seems from many accounts that it was very poorly run. Okay, they kind of quickly ran out of waters. I don't know if they accounted for this many people, which is kind of like, I think, an oversight considering how many people are diehard Rhode fans, especially now. Like, I feel like Rhode is almost at its peak right now. The fact that they weren't able to account for this many people, sometimes I wonder if brands, manufacture chaos in order to sort of like drum up interest. Or it was simply horribly planned. I don't know which is worse, actually.
For the Rhode pop-up in Newport, Rhode Island at 6:45 this morning. I live about 35 minutes away from Newport, and I am just getting home now at 6:38 p.m. For starters, let me say, I am absolutely obsessed with Rhode and the quality of their products. It was really disappointing for me as someone who has been ordering from them for years, how disorganized this event was.
This conversation is going to be filled with the question of how much of the blame is to be put on, these companies for poorly planning these things and how much of it is personal responsibility. These products are set to go for sale within a week. You don't even have to wait very long. So there's really no reason to wait in line. And I know that it's become sort of redundant. Okay. A lot of people are sort of saying the same thing. Well, like, this is a completely optional event. But the truth is that it is an optional event. At any point you can get out of line, go home. But a lot of these people chose not to do that. Okay. So none of these products are necessary. No one needs these things. In fact, most of these people already have every Rhode product in existence. They don't need this stuff. They probably have a drawer full of bronzers at home, peptide lip treatments that are unused. So it's like, we don't need this.
I will say in the beginning, vibes were immaculate. All of the girls who I was around, who I was yapping with, We were all super excited. Everyone was so kind, just like yapping, girl talk, yada yada. It took about 3 hours for us to get our wristbands, which I think was mistake number one.
Two things here. So they were passing out wristbands to people, to like the first 1,000 people, but you know, from a lot of the accounts, Rhode was not like even acknowledging really the wristbands that much, and like it didn't really make a difference because people were cutting in line anyway. I don't know. I plan to touch more on this, you know, later part of this video, but there is sort of like this, I don't know, collective effervescence that people experience, which is like this happy feeling of being with other people who share a common interest. I think people attribute it spuriously to Rhode products and consumerism, but it actually is just because you're hanging out talking to people that have similar interests, and it's fun to like talk to people that like the same things that you do. I think a lot of people have become entangled in consumerism that way because they're rewarded with having a good time, yapping with friends and strangers and things like that. And those warm and fuzzy feelings that they feel are actually independent of anything Rhode's doing or the products or anything like that.
The amount of people who had like one person waiting in line and then 2 hours later, 20 people met up with them and skipped the whole line, it was actually astronomical. The security guard told me that the first person in line got there at 1 a.m. and brought like some like blow up mattress sleeping bag situation. He was supposed to get there at 4 a.m. and got called in early because people were there, and apparently people were trying to like break into the kiosk, which is actually ridiculous.
I mean, people are nuts. Nothing surprises me anymore, not really anyway. I will say though, like there is something sort of ironic woven within this conversation, which is, I think it's a little funny, I guess, to be surprised that people are trying to break into the Rhode booth, but also waiting in line for 10 hours for Rhode products. I don't know that it's that big of a jump in my mind. Like between those two things, they're both like almost equally insane to me, just being sort of candid here.
So when I got there, I was number 264 in line. After I got my wristband, I asked that same security guard, like, what number are we at? He was like, you know what, that's a good idea. Let me recount. At 11 a.m. when the kiosk opened, I was number 297. I looked around to everyone and we were like, oh, that's how today is gonna go. Not cool. They handed out multiple box waters throughout the day. Thank God. Rhode did a collaboration with the Nitro Bar, which I don't have enough time in my day to talk about the Nitro Bar. I will say, after hunting down this same security guard that I befriended.
The security guards, it's just, I'm sorry.
At, I don't know, 2:30, 2:45, and I was like, hey, I've been skipped in line every single time to get a nice coffee. Can you please help me out here? He was like, yeah, come with me. And me and one of the girls that I was standing in line with, we were taken to like in the cut and they gave us a coffee.
Look, I don't want to come across as super judgmental because the moment that I do that, I am hit with a flashback of me hoarding Kylie Cosmetics lip kits and doing things similar to this. Like, I'm certainly not innocent. I just come from a place of like, I've been there and I've done that and I can see the error of my ways. You know, I think that it's just kind of like, these are not real problems. Like, you know, they're not. I mean, the Nitro Bar skipped me over in line. What the F? You know, now I need to go grab the security guard and like pull him aside. Like, this is so unfair. This is so unjust. It's like, we got to get real problems. Okay? We do. We got to start being like, look, what am I doing?
Thank you, Malik. Love you, boo. I ended up ordering food from one of the restaurants on the wharf at like 4:30 because at that point I was actually, I didn't know if I was gonna pass out or cuss someone out.
Again, personal responsibility. Rhode running a really bad event. Do I think that Rhode ran a really bad event? I do. Okay, based off everything I saw, yeah, I do. If you're getting to the point where you're finding yourself irritable to the point where you want to cuss someone out. Clearly sunburned, you're feeling dehydrated, you feel like you're starving, okay? You need to go to the bathroom. Like, these are things that need to be managed by you. You need to make the decision, I'm not going to choose consumerism in these products. I'm going to choose what's best for me and my health and my safety and my well-being, and I'm going to get out of line. I think it just more so tells a story of people are really desperate for the sweatshirt, which I think is a symptom of a much bigger problem.
I was so hungry and exhausted and irritable. I was able to get what I wanted, thankfully. I don't know if I was the last person to get a sweatshirt or like one of the last people. Like, if I wasn't the last person, there were like single digits left of the sweatshirt. People drove over 4 hours to get turned away because the cutoff of 1,000 people got hit at like, I don't know, 10:30 in the morning.
We're driving 4 hours. We're standing in line for 10 hours. What? I have to keep reiterating. Just for the chance to be able to buy products. Nothing was free other than the puffy stickers with your order. Puffy stickers. We're doing this for puffy stickers. Road stickers. What are you going to even do with those? It's not like these are necessarily cheap products either. $110 sweatshirt, that's certainly a premium price. So not only are we spending all this money, but the time, I feel like people really need to think about the time that has been sunk into this. It's like, it's really, really does not seem worth it in my opinion.
There was a lot of like chatter throughout the day of like people lying about things being sold out when they weren't, like just false information. I'm tired, y'all. If you listen to this entire thing, good for you. Do with this information what you will. I personally will never do anything like this ever again.
Well, I'm glad we have reached the right conclusion, which is like not doing this again, learn my lesson. I think a lot of people shared this sentiment that attended the road pop-up. They're like, that was not worth it, not going again. I think a lot of people fell victim to like the sunk cost fallacy of like, I've already wasted, let's say 4 hours driving here, and then I wasted 10 hours in line, or I've already been in line for 4 hours. So what's another 4 more? Like, now I have to stick it out. When you start to make decisions like that, which go against what you're actually experiencing, which is, a lot of people, I'm swollen, I'm exhausted, I'm irritable, I'm hungry, I don't feel good, I'm in the sun, I know this is not good for me, but I'm still waiting in line. Like, that is, I think, a really important inflection point of we have to make a change here. Maybe my relationship with consumerism and with things is unhealthy. In the truest and most literal sense of that word, it's unhealthy.
Okay, guys, last TikTok I'm making about...
Look, you probably already know what I'm about to say, but the sunburn. It looks very painful. It looks somewhat severe. And I know that a lot of her comments, like she's probably heard it a million times and she's probably sick of hearing this at this point. And, at some point I understand, like all the comments were like life-changing sunburn, life-changing sunburn. But the truth is that, getting a sunburn is one thing, obviously. But I think being okay with getting a sunburn and knowing that you are burning your skin, you are doing something that impacts your health negatively and possibly for the rest of your life because you do not want to get out of line so you can get a sweatshirt from Rhode that you're not going to care about in a week is, I think, really, really something that needs to be discussed. Okay. Again, I'm not saying this from a judgmental point of view. I have been there. I've done that. And I have gotten the sunburn. So yeah, no, not fun. We can't be doing this for a sweatshirt. We can't.
Road pop-up in Newport, Rhode Island. Everyone's asking me for a haul, so let's get into it. First of all, free temporary tattoos that came with my purchase.
Nothing goes better with a road tattoo like a road sunburn from standing in the road pop-up line.
Bronzer in shade Sip. Lip peptide in honey mango. That smells amazing. Lip peptide in culotta. Oh my god, that is a tropical dream. I asked for the highlight milk in shade 2 and I actually got shade 3.
So wait a minute. We waited in line for 10 hours to get the wrong highlighter. Okay, like when you finally got up there after 10 hours, we didn't check to make sure that this was the right thing and like they can't even give you the right one. What? I mean, guys, we're not thinking straight. We're not thinking clearly. Our brains are clouded by consumerism.
Just realizing that now. The wristband tan line.
It's not a tan line. It's a burn line.
Last but certainly not least, the sweatshirt, Skylark and extra small.
Please don't tell me your sunburn is from today and standing in line for hours. If so, I'm so sorry that was this poorly ran. I have no ties to Rhode, but I still feel so bad seeing how burnt you are. She said, yes, it's from today. I didn't have sunscreen. I wasn't expecting to be there all day. Some people offered theirs to me, but my skin is so sensitive and I didn't know the brand, so I declined. I don't know what to say. At some point, you have to decide to get out of line. We have to stop waiting in line to buy things and hand over our money to these companies that don't give a crap. They couldn't even throw together like a properly ran pop-up. We got to stop waiting in line for every little drop for the scarcity marketing and all that crap. Like, we got to stop. This is the type of burn you need to go see a doctor after. I'm not joking. Go get checked just to be safe. And she goes, I'll be okay. You know, a lot of her replies that I noticed were sort of, in my opinion, I perceive them to be defensive. Okay. At no point you thought, let me just leave because these products aren't worth it. And she says, I totally did, but felt like it was a bigger waste of time to just leave after literally hours of standing around. What's not grasping here? So it's like, you know, her rebuttal is a sunk cost fallacy. So not a great debate strategy, but okay. It's also like the passive aggressive tone. Okay, I'm sorry that looks painful. Just super red from the heat of the shower, but I'm totally fine today. It's not bad at all. It's like, girl, we can see it's bad. And I think that this is important because, and I'll just speak from my own experience, okay? You know, as many people know, I have been on this road, no pun intended, okay, with consumerism. And I feel like I recognize some of myself in this person. I used to get defensive when confronted with my shopping. I think when you get to the point where you do feel defensive, you feel like you have to hide purchases. You don't want people to know how much you've been buying. I think that that is the moment where things have gone way too far. Understand that, you know, a lot of comments are like, girl, you're sunburned. Like, what are you doing? You're like, why would you wait in line for this? You know, and I don't know that she's right now totally in a position to be able to hear this type of feedback. I just want it to be known that I'm not judging anybody that's standing in line, but I do feel like it's a learning moment. Okay, moving forward.
About the 12-hour road pop-up from hell. I probably will be getting kicked off the PR list after this.
By the way, I had nothing to do with the editing of this video. Okay, that's not me. All right, I didn't edit this way, but there's some important information within this video.
So we're handing out these like fans and umbrellas to people. When you got to the front of the line, they're like, ooh, can we have your fan back? Also, they cut off the wristband too. Like, I wanted to keep that wristband.
Influencers get everything for free, yet I can't spare a road umbrella or let people keep their road wristband for their 10 hours of trouble. I mean, I get why they're cutting the wristbands off, but it's like, at least let people keep them. Come on.
Didn't let anyone keep the umbrellas either. They were just giving the umbrellas out to certain people and then taking them back. And then by the end of the day, when everyone was freaking pissed, the security guards started auctioning off the umbrellas to people. Like, someone bought an umbrella from a security guard for $100.
$100 umbrella that says Rhode on it. Like, you don't have to do this kind of stuff. It's brand devotion and it's brand worship, and I can't support it. It's making people do crazy things. It's making people spend money on things that, you know, are just, it's so stupid. It's silly. It's silly.
Cherry on top was that Hailey Bieber was in Newport and did not show up. Like, you're having a brand trip in Newport without any Rhode Island influencers. On top
Rhode Island influencers. I just never heard that term until today.
That you're right down the road and you don't even show up to pop up. I just felt so bad for all these girls. They couldn't get what they wanted. They couldn't get a hoodie. They couldn't get a bag. I feel like their last resort was like, okay, we think Hailey's gonna come, and she like didn't show up.
It's just not worth it. I wish people, I guess, had a better value on their time.
8:15 in the morning, I'm going back to sleep, but I woke up to give you guys a haul. So here's everything I got at the road pop-up after waiting for 12 million freaking hours in line. A lot of you guys were asking, oh, what's the special thing you got for waiting in line? Here it is. Yup, these stickers.
These are the puffy stickers, the notorious, infamous puffy stickers, free with your order, 18 pieces, one for every hour you wait in line. Like, that's a new low, I think. That is a new low to wait in line. I know people aren't waiting in line for these, but maybe people are. Actually, you know what? I don't even have the confidence to say that. I don't. Some people might have actually been there for the stickers because it's, you know, it's a road exclusive item, and you know, it shows that you were there.
Yep. These glittery pink tattoos. Look at my eye. My eyes got sunburned from yesterday.
Sunburn on your eyes. Never heard of that before.
So I got those two things. I got the Terry bag. This was like $35. Shein.
Look at that bag. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. The worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. The worst bag I've ever seen in my entire life. The worst bag I've ever seen in my entire life. The worst. Number one, the worst. By far the worst. You couldn't pay me to use it.
Smart marketing, because why do I want this 30 cents to make bag? And I paid $35 for it because we love Hailey Bieber. That's exactly why we did. Got the bag. Here's what it says. Rhode Island, pee-pee poo-poo colors. But you know what? Once again, I'm a victim of overconsumption. I didn't need this, but I needed it at the same time.
Obviously, some people have awareness and they're like, like I'm a victim of overconsumption. But it's like, but wait a minute. You wasted 10 hours of your life. Obviously, you know, some people are getting some content out of it, which is fine. But, you know, we have sunburn on our eyeballs. And what? For the puffy stickers.
Guys, what am I missing about this road pop-up that people are waiting for 10 hours in line? For what? What are you waiting 10 hours in line for? Like, please, on God's green earth, do not tell me that you're waiting 10 hours in line in the blazing sun, dehydrated, literally like hot, sweaty, for a road hoodie. Please tell me that like you were like meeting Mrs. Bieber herself.
I know. But that is the exact reason. And it's the exclusivity of having something that nobody else has or very few people have, jumping through hoops and braving the elements, like earth, wind, fire, air, in order to get this thing and procure this item. And it's the rush of having something that nobody else has for a moment in time. It's that. And it's like an addictive cycle.
And she was literally twirling you around and like giving you a share of her company that you're waiting for 10 hours in line for a hoodie. Like, in the hoodie, like, was the hoodie free? I don't even know. Like, and it didn't even look like that great of a hoodie. Like,
you know, I gotta be honest, there's something that feels sort of dangerous almost about a company that has that strong of a chokehold on people. It actually kind of scares me a little bit that companies have this much that they can get people to do these things and act in their own disinterest. I guess it's just, wow.
Like, it looked like it was like screen printed on. Like, do you have an iron? Like, make one yourself, girl. Do you have a Cricut? Like, literally, like, don't waste 10 hours of your time for a hoodie. Like, and if you want to do that, like, that's fine. But, like, I'm seeing all these things, like, people saying, like, this was the worst day of my life. Like, this is miserable. Like, no one told you to go. Like, and that's my thing. Like, no one asked you to do that. Like, you could have gotten out of line at any time. People were getting there at, like, 5 a.m. and they still didn't get a hoodie.
I know that everyone said it. And I know that no one that was there wants to hear this, but it was optional. And not only was it optional, it was like, it was not even a good option. Okay. Like, that's maybe the worst part. Yeah. Well, things were made much worse when you realize that Rhode was hosting a simultaneous influencer brand trip right down the road. Right down the road. They had influencers that they flew in, that they were given free product. They had put them up in these like luxury rooms in Rhode Island, okay? And meanwhile, they're hosting the most haphazard, sloppily thrown together disaster class of a pop-up for their even more loyal customers, okay? So here is one of the influencers that was on the Rhode brand trip.
I'm in Rhode Island. Like, yes, Rhode Island, but Rhode Island.
Just the whole bed's full of all the products and the things that people waited 10 hours for. You know, influencers, once again, they get them for free. We've got to start really thinking deep about this picture, okay? And like what we just saw.
This hotel is so cool because it's an old historic house, so each room is really different. As someone that studied architecture, I personally love things like this and when things are super design intentful. So the Rhode team did an amazing job.
So, you know, Rhode's putting them up in luxury, super aesthetic housing, air conditioning, on the water. I mean, and then 2 days later, they're like, actually, give me that umbrella back. Yeah, give it back to me. Like, and let me cut off your wristband. You know, meanwhile, influencers
picking this location. Outside, I have my own little personal deck and I have a gorgeous view. The color of the water is just ridiculous. We have the bedspread. I am so excited that they gave us all 4 shades of the highlight milk because I only got this one in the PR package.
Yeah, you heard that right. She's already gotten a PR package filled with all these products, okay? Not every product, but she's already gotten a PR package filled with her products. And then they get to this Rhode event and they actually get every single product again. Okay, again. So they have multiple products. Every product known to man.
But I really want to try the rest of them because I feel like it'll be like cute bronzy for summer. And then just like literally everything else from the summer drop. We have more bronzers, the lip peptides. Oh my God, the hoodie. I'm gonna feel like a princess.
I can tell you who did not feel like a princess. I can tell you who felt like a jester. All the people that waited in line for that exact hoodie at the Rhode pop-up, okay?
Sleeping here tonight. And the bathroom. I feel like this bathtub could probably fit 4 people in it. Okay, and then this is where I'm gonna be getting ready, but they also gave us a bunch of skin prep,
Just every Rhode skincare product. To people who already get them for free, why not?
which is so essential because knowing I was going on a brand trip with the Rhode, I literally didn't even pack skincare. And you walk out again, and this
I knew I'd get it for free. Why? So why pack it?
is just everything. I'm so excited and grateful to be here. Thank you, Rhode, for having me. Like, oh, this is literally like a dream brand trip.
Things have just become so stratified. I don't know what to say. So then this is just, once again, the juxtaposition of these things. Rhode posted this, a Rhode summer night. So like, meanwhile, everyone's parked out live. People are camping right now in their blow up mattresses, okay, for the Rhode pop-up in UV10. And this is what Rhode's doing. They're getting clams, they're getting some lobster, they're on the beach, they're at a Rhode aesthetically done dinner with, by the way, Hailey Bieber. Okay, yes, she was there. They all got to meet her. So she was literally like, you know, when that one girl was like, yeah, she's literally down the road and she didn't show up and everyone was like thinking that she was going to be here. It's because she actually was right down the road. Like literally hosted a brand trip the same weekend, but didn't show up to the pop-up because people are like, oh, well, surely she'll go to the pop-up and say hi to her loyal fans. No, she couldn't make it over there. Not enough time, I guess. So it's shocking.
Hot take. Meticulously planning out a beautiful brand trip and then really poorly planning out a pop-up that was really small, had no security or barely security, had like 2 people working there. Poorly plan that for your consumers who took time out of the day and who spend their hard-earned money to buy your products is a really, really bad look.
Horrible. And the point that I want to make with this and why I'm even making this point at all is I need people to make the connection for themselves that camping out for brands that do not care what happens to you. They don't even put enough thought in to have a well-run event and make sure you have enough water. You know, everybody gets a coffee that shows up. Everybody gets, you know, this, that, the other thing. Everyone gets a popsicle. People get actually like good free things. They're not just waiting in line for basically no reason. We got to start drawing some lines of like, I'm not going to accept this type of behavior anymore from companies that don't put in effort to keep me as a customer and keep, you know, do customer service. They can't get away with the bare minimum. They shouldn't, at least. Okay. This is unacceptable. This is a huge brand. They know the type of cult-like following that they have. It should have been run better. And it's embarrassing, quite frankly, that they are hosting a brand event that is that luxe and giving influencers that many products and, you know, giving them this idyllic night out in Rhode Island. And this is what their paying customers get. I need people to understand this.
But let's keep giving influencers the launch twice, might I add, once in PR and then the other one at the hotel room. And then give them a bunch of other free stuff. And then give everyone else who waited 9 hours, 10 hours in 90-degree weather with the sun beaming, let's give them puffy stickers.
Oh, wait, hold on. And temporary tattoos. I mean, what are we, 10 years old? Temporary tattoo? No, thank you. I'm not at some like middle school birthday party. Okay. We don't need temporary tattoos and all this junk. Like, please stop. Look, I just got to point this out because it's just, again, we've got to start really thinking critically about these things. And like when I go to Rhode, for example, I look at their pages, I look at their TikToks, and their comments are just filled, okay, with these types of comments. Too bad my order says it was delivered. Delivery photos attached. Don't see it anywhere. When are you restocking? Please make this permanent. Please bring this back. These are what these customers are saying, okay? They're customers who make them money, who make them the company that they are. The influencers, I don't even think influencer marketing works anymore. Certainly doesn't for me. And, you know, this is what their customers have to say. My order hasn't shipped. Why is everything limited edition? Honey mango restock. Restock the terry bag. Please be serious about the terry bag. Be serious about it, okay? It's the ugliest, most ugliest, fuggliest thing in the world. It's so uggo. It's so gross. Enough. Seriously, no, we have to stop. Like, we're losing it. We're losing our minds. Do not restock the terry bag. I'm on a crusade right now. Yeah. Do you know when orders will be shipped? Go ahead and restock the summer collection. Please restock. Restock Hailey. Please restock Hailey. Talking directly to Hailey. Is it not going to be restocked? Please restock it. Restock it. These companies don't care. On a very similar note, something insane happened at the parke sample sale in Dallas. And I'm going to be honest, this happened in February of this year. And I am not exaggerating when I say I have thought about this on a near weekly basis since it happened because I cannot believe what went down here. Okay. To me, this is one of the clearest, most shocking illustrations of the chronic consumerism crisis that we are in. The things that people will do, the lengths that they will go to get some stupid. This was it, the Parke 260 sample sale. This was taking place in Dallas. Basically, Parke partnered with the 260 sample sale company. It's a sample sale like host service, and they had it in this like warehouse, store site or whatever is going on. A sample sale, and especially the one that this was, it's basically a lot of overstock items. They're usually heavily discounted, but it's overstock items. It's past season, stuff, as evidenced here, an orange Parke mock neck. Yuck. Not their greatest color. So it's a lot of like excess inventory. It's things that didn't sell very well. That is what sample sales have become. And, it is a good way to get things discounted. However, Parke is already, if you know about them, you know that these are already heavily, excessively marked up mock neck sweatshirts. Okay. That are, I think, 20% polyester. So not a premium material. Let's just put it that way. Okay, it's plastic. They're at an exorbitant price of like $115 to $150 per sweatshirt. They operate largely on a scarcity marketing sort of model where they do these drops and different things like that. They have denim pieces, but mostly the mock necks are what everybody's after. And, these are just old items that nobody really wanted. They're not going to have like their hottest selling items here at the sample sale. Yellow, it's old collections that nobody cared about. So quickly it descended into absolute chaos, okay, as these things naturally do. And, with the sentiments that surround Parke and just the insanity of it all, people were just ferociously grabbing anything they could get their hands on, multiple Parke sweatshirts. And, I think one thing I need to point out is a lot of these people showed up already wearing Parke sweatshirts. Okay. They're already wearing them and yet they need more. I mean, just people with hands full, bags stuffed to the brim, overflowing with Parke sweatshirts. No one needs this much stuff. It's arbitrary, no rhyme or reason, just flying through. We don't even know what we're grabbing. A lot of impulse shopping because of the nature of how they just like let people run in there and then like grab whatever they can grab in a short amount of time. It's very conducive to, I would say, impulse purchasing, very limited ranging sizes and, no fitting rooms either. So yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot of junk, honestly. Here's a good visual of the line. Okay, so again, we're having problems with long lines. Okay, I feel like that's all I ever see these days. It's just people waiting in line for the stupidest imaginable. I don't understand how there's so many people that are doing this and like want these items. I mean, it's down the street, around the corner, in an alleyway. People lined up, camping out. They know they're going to be there for hours and they're like happily kind of signing up to do it.
I really hate to yuck somebody's yum. I do, but I have to because Parke has you under a spell. There is a sale going on right now. Parke is at 260 sample sale, and I just saw a video of the line, first of all, around the corner, down the street, way long. I don't stand in a line for anything, but number two, somebody commented, and to me, this is an admission. Like, you could not waterboard this information out of me. She said she got there at 9 and left, checked out at 3:30.
Look, I'm going to be honest, based on what I've seen, that's a short shift. There's people putting in 10 hours at the Rhode pop-up. Okay, this is amateur hour over here. Quick 5 hours, 6 hours in line, that's nothing. And like, I think that that's kind of the nature of things as well. Is things are just ramping up and things are becoming more normalized. Like waiting in line for hours for an entire day is just, nobody's batting an eye anymore. An entire day of your life, you'll never get back ever for a sweatshirt you won't care about past a week.
I'm gonna hold everybody's hand. These are sweatshirts, people. Sweatshirts. You're under a spell. Are you guys okay?
I've said it many times, and I think many people have said it. They're like, it's a sweatshirt, what's the big deal? And I've said that too. And I think that. But I think that people that are waiting in line for it, if they feel like it's worth it, okay. But I do think that sort of like this is a moment where it's like, where there's smoke, there's fire. If there's enough people asking what's going on, why are you so obsessed with a sweatshirt? Like, I don't understand it. I do think that it might be time to be like, all right, maybe I should rethink what's going on here in my behavior. Like, if this many people are like feeling like I'm in a cult or I'm doing something that's like crazy and I'm waiting in line and it's like not worth it, even if I feel like it's worth it, I think it's also worth heeding some of that feedback or that criticism and be like, all right, why do people feel like it's not worth it? It really was that serious. You know, a lot of people just, they feel that it is that serious. Like the people online, they do feel like they're doing something that's worthwhile. And it's like a serious event, okay? Seriously, just look at how much stuff, guys. No one needs that much stuff. And I can say from experience that when you have that many things and you're buying that much stuff, you can't appreciate what you have. There's too many new things. And I don't recommend buying that many new things, so you can actually learn to love the stuff that you do have and learn to appreciate it. And just because it's a good deal does not mean that it's the right item for you and that you need to go home with it. And just because you spent 8 hours in line does not mean you even need to buy something. You can leave empty-handed if you don't like those things.
Happy Wednesday. Yesterday I went to a park sample sale that happened here in Dallas, and I thought I would give my opinion about it. And I'm seeing all over TikTok, some people slept outside of the building overnight.
I don't get that. It does scare me that people are willing to sleep outside for a mock neck.
Other people got there at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., line all the way wrapped around the building. In the checkout line for an hour and a half. And it was just like the weirdest experience I've ever had. And I wasn't even there during like the peak hours. But the weirdest part of the whole experience, they wheeled a rack of the park mock necks through the store. Like the employees were like slow-mo, like punching girls, being like, do not touch the racks. They're just...
Employees are punching people. We're getting into fights. Physical altercations. Obviously, we've seen this before. How many times have we watched people get into fights? They're at Target. They're fighting over Labubu's. They're fighting over Hello Kitty. Same different day. Why are we doing this? Guys, it's ruining your life to do this stuff. It's ruining your life to get into physical altercations, to get so upset and mad about something to the point where you're getting in fights with people. You're putting your hands on another person, okay? You're elbowing people. No.
All these girls trying to like grab the mock necks off the rack. And I was just watching it like... So then they would set the rack like where it just crowds. And I mean, people are pushing each other, shoving each other, getting trampled.
Oh. When it gets to the point where we're doing WWE SmackDown for Park, why?
And they're like, let us through. Once we're all through the crowd of you, 1, 2, 3, release them, you can get the mock necks. People are slapping each other, pushing each other, shoving each other. People are falling over. They're grabbing them off the hanger. Things are breaking. Hangers are flying. It was like insane.
We've got to stop. Okay, it's got to stop, genuinely. What concerns me is a lot of people are adults. And a lot of these adults have become emotionally dysregulated because of consumer items, okay? And a devotion, a brand worship of these products. I feel it's important to remind people that these are sweatshirts that have someone's middle name on them. Middle name, somebody else's, not even their own. Like, why are people stooping to this level? Like, I've seen so many times people just fighting people. We're fighting, okay? This has gone too far. Naive girls not knowing what we were getting to in the park sample sale. Did you see this coming? Fire department, because apparently someone got hit by a car.
There was literally a hit and run. Yeah, Dallas, you guys are crazy.
Multiple people at the park sample sale were hit by a car. Hit and run, waiting in line for park sweatshirts. Yeah, things have definitely gotten out of control.
So just got back from the park sample sale and had the worst time of my life. Got there at 10 a.m. Honestly, that was a huge mistake on my part. Like, I genuinely had no idea how insane this event was about to be. I've never been to one of these before, so I was just super shocked. Saw a video of a girl saying that she was the first in line and she got there at 2 a.m. So I was like, okay, like, it'll be worth the wait because they're gonna be $66, so it'll just be worth my time.
I personally feel like $66 is still too much to be paying for a park sweatshirt. I would venture to guess that I'm not the only one. The materials and the construction do not justify the price. Sweatshirts and hoodies have gotten so out of control. I don't know what the heck's going on.
Well, the person in front of me got hit by a car, so she was turning around talking to her friend, and this car came by and pretty much just like hit her like in her behind. And she turns around and she's like, oh my gosh, why would you do that? What's wrong with you? He rolls down his window and he basically says, do you really think I give a F? And I got that part on video, so I'll insert the video here.
Just took a picture of your license, so just, yeah. Okay, then keep going. That you hit her? Yeah, that's good. You don't give a crap that you hit her? You're a horrible person. There's people everywhere.
I just don't know what to say. Where's the security? Once again, who's running these events? Why is it that there's no protection? The line is wrapped around in an alleyway, sort of like in an open parking lot. You know, people are lined up in the street. You know, it's obviously not her fault for getting hit by a car. Okay? Obviously not. This person's insane. Okay, who's running around hitting people with cars. Why are people lined up in the street? Why are tensions so high? This does seem to be like an escalating thing where, you know, we've seen for several years now sort of like a building tension of people are fighting, people are mad at each other, there's like disputes going on, and then people are getting sunburns that are like they can't come back from, and now people are getting hit by cars.
But he basically said, I don't give a F, and he continues to drive on and hits another girl down the road. So the girl called the police, and I gave her that video because I got his license plate. The police came out and she did a report, and they're basically going to charge him with a double hit and run.
Double hit and run at the park sample sale. Double hit and run. Why are you having people line up around the corner, around the block where you cannot see them? These are customers of your store, of your, you know, whatever. By the way, this is not like necessarily Park's doing. It's more on the 260 sample sale company. But what's going on? You're having people stand in basically like an open parking space where they could even be hit by a car. We had multiple angles of this, by the way. Okay, multiple angles. And like, I gotta point this out. Once again, not their fault, not her fault for getting hit by a car. Okay, this is an insane person. But look at where they have them lined up. Poorly run events that can't even cater to the amount of people that are going to be there. These companies just, they don't seem to care all that much about what happens to people. In the name of consumerism, here's the victim.
Hi, my name is McKinley Hawes, and I was hit by a car at the Park Dallas sample sale. Yes, I was hit by a car at the Park Dallas sample sale yesterday. Absolute pure chaos. I go to sample sales all the time. I have never, ever seen anything like that before yesterday. There was over 2,000 shoppers in line. I was probably maybe number 300. As he speeds out, we yell to the woman in front to like warn them that he is coming, and some girls dodge out of the way, and some other girls start yelling as well, but unfortunately 2 other girls were struck.
2 other people. So now we're talking about 3 people who have been hit by this errant man because there's really nowhere even safe to stand. The tension around these events is becoming so like dark.
I went into shock, so I didn't have a chance to reach out to them or talk to them. Apparently my lips turned blue and I was shivering, and the police came and spoke with me. They evaluated me to make sure I was okay, and they gathered testimonies about what happened. They then said they were going to gather camera surveillance from the cameras in the alleyway. And they said that just based on the video evidence they had, they were going to charge him for 3 accounts of a hit and run because he showed no remorse for what he did and he sped off.
There is no sweatshirt on this planet that is worth all of this. I mean, this is a traumatizing event. These people could have been seriously injured.
After, you know, that all happens, the girls around me tried to flag down management of the Dallas 260 sample sale to tell them what happened. By the time the manager comes over and we tell her, she does not care. She literally just kind of shrugged her shoulders and walked away.
People have just lost the damn plot. Okay, obviously I'm speaking to the management of this, if this account is true, which I believe it to be. We have lost our humanity in the name of consumerism. Honestly, if you hear about an event that you are in charge of, that women have been hit by a car that have been standing outside, and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna go back inside now. I mean, it's a serious problem. We gotta think about, oh, my customers are not safe outside. I gotta go get back to things. Like, no, there's police outside. There's police involved. You just don't care. You don't care that somebody could have been seriously injured. Somebody actually was injured. What the hell?
You even fathom being told that the sample sale that you're running is in such pure chaos that 3 women were struck by a car, and then you decide just to proceed as normal and walk away?
I feel like I would find it hard to ever want to support a company like that again. I don't know that I would want to like even continue to stay in line and wait for a mock neck sweatshirt that's being sold by someone who just is so callous and careless and has no regard for their customers. That would be for me a real point of inflection, I think.
Craziest thing happened though around like 10:15. We were waiting down the alleyway and 2 people got hit by a car. The craziest part was when the paramedics came, someone was like sharing like what she saw, what happened, and it was 2 people and only one person had come forward saying like, this car hit me. They could not get the other person to come out and speak because she was so scared to lose her spot, and the paramedics were begging her to come forward.
I'm just going to repeat that one more time. Allegedly, one of the people that was hit by a car standing in line for park sweatshirts was so scared to come forward so as not to lose her spot in line that she did not report it to the police. They were begging her to come forward and she didn't want to lose her spot in line. Guys, this is the thing that I've been thinking about since February, since this moment happened. Okay? Since I first heard about this. This is the thing I cannot get out of my brain. I can't get over it. This cannot happen. It's past a point of no return. I can't wrap my head around it. Even in my darkest hour, I couldn't fathom not wanting to bring somebody to justice after I'd been hit by a car because I'd rather wait in line for a park sweatshirt. I think that that's the turning point for hopefully us all. Hopefully this is like a moment where we can all remember this and then move forward with a clearer perspective of this has gone too far. To me, there's a through line between the 2 situations that we've seen so far of, you know, refusing to get out of line after you'd been hit by a car to talk to police because you don't want to lose your spot in line, and, you know, refusing to get out of line even if you're dehydrated, you're sunburned, you are exhausted, you are getting sick, you know, you're fighting with people, you're getting agitated at people, and instead deciding that consumerism and material items mean more to you. They mean more than your health. They mean more than your well-being. They mean more than bringing someone to justice who has just errantly ran off the road and is driving wild on the streets and probably should not be driving at all, should have their license revoked. That is a point where I have to say enough is enough. We all have to say enough is enough.
I was traumatized by the Park 260 sample sale today. But I guess let's do a haul. I got in line at 10 a.m. and I didn't get out of there until 5 p.m.
Just a quick 7-hour shift. Did anyone have a good time at the sample sale? Like, seriously.
And I wasn't prepared for it, so I didn't have water, I didn't have food, I didn't go to the bathroom. Like, it was honestly one of the most traumatizing experiences.
2 things can exist at once, okay? One is, was this a poorly ran event that did not supply people with basic necessities? Yes, okay? But also, we have to have some personal responsibility. If consumerism and the want of products comes before basic necessities, water, for going to the bathroom, for, you know, food, for our health, to the point where it's traumatizing us, okay? Like, we have to reevaluate what's going on here. It's just plain and simple.
And yes, the line was so long when I got there. And usually I would never, ever, ever wait in that line. I don't know what was in it for me today. There was a girl not too far ahead of me that had literally got hit by a car while we were waiting in line. What are we doing? Come to find out, there were a couple of people that got hit by a car while waiting in this line. Okay, to start off.
People got hit by a car. All right, well, here's the haul. Like, I think that we've become desensitized to a point.
A little strong. I got this really cute, like, ribbed, cute, I guess. Now,
cute, I guess.
Was it worth it? No. I spent around $200. Actually, I don't even know where the receipt is. But I spent a little over $200.
You know, she's like, I spent $200, but I think we also need to acknowledge the time, because time is an even more valuable asset. It's true. You can never get time back. And I think time is ultimately what we all want. I think that when calculating the value proposition of these sweatshirts, you have to include all of the time that you spent as well on this. So it's like, it's $200, but it's also 7 hours. Okay, 7 hours of my life that I could have been spent, you know, with friends or family or doing really anything else at this point, okay? I don't care what you're doing, anything but this. I think it actually is that deep.
I know that their sweatshirts are usually over about $100, so I got a lot of stuff for a good price, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it was worth my sanity though. It was kind of like a traumatizing situation. A girl that I was waiting in line with, by the end of it, she referenced it to be similar to like being in a cult. Like, I don't even know why I was there.
This is just so interesting to me because to have like an inline revelation that your ideas or your expectations of these products or the way that they're going to make you feel is so different. I think that this event was actually sort of like a cognitive dissonance shift of sorts, where they either decided, I'm done, never doing this again, or they're very, very close to, you know, sort of like a true awakening. All right. Like they're so close. I've totally had moments like this where you just have an epiphany one day where you're like, what am I doing? You know, you splash some water in your face and you're like, wait a minute. I love that people are becoming more aware.
I know I had made the choice to be there and I could have left at any moment, but you had waited so long. It was so hard to like get out of line and just be like, okay, I just did all that for nothing.
Sunk cost fallacy.
So I was so determined to get in there and see what they had. I don't know. I think it was pretty unorganized, to be honest. And it just kind of gave me a headache. And I don't think I will ever go to a sample sale again.
I think some people are seeing the light. On an even more similar note, there was more mayhem and chaos going down in the same place that it always goes down. Okay. Target. It's the scene of the crime always, it seems. Like there's always some mayhem, mischief going on, some just goofball behavior. There's always some sort of drop and collab. I feel like on a damn near weekly basis, I see people lining up for some new Target collaboration. And not once have I ever seen it for a justifiable reason. Not once. Okay, so here's another one. Okay, similar thing. Why are we camping out for, I ask you?
Good morning, it's 6:45 in the morning and Jordan and I are at Target waiting for the Park X Target collab, so cheers. Here's the line right now. But we're just sitting here waiting. We have like 30 more minutes. Okay, this is what the line is looking like right now.
It's wrapped around the block.
It's like crazy long.
Guys.
Okay, we're walking in now. This is very intense. I'm really nervous right now.
Oh, now we're running.
I want the sweatshirt.
Guys, running. We're running. It's a stampede. What the hell? For what? Oh, more park crap.
Oh, I want
screaming. You hear somebody who was like, ow.
Guess I'm a medium now.
Oh, God.
Get me out of here.
It's a mosh pit.
Oh my gosh. We got it. We got it. Feel like I was in a mosh pit. The racks are literally cleared.
Within minutes, the racks are cleared. Let me ask you something, okay? Do you think that these people had any time to make a thoughtful decision about what they were about to buy? Or do you think they were just grabbing whatever they can get their hands on? Because that's the nature of these things. It's just impulsive decision and it's a quick temporary high. And then there's like a sobering moment of, wait, what the hell am I doing? Well, at least I hope there is. Too often there is not. But you know, it's like you look down and you're like, I got two mismatched, you know, pants and I've got a size that's not the right size and this is not the right color and it's not what I asked for.
There's no sweatshirts left. There's like a couple PJs.
Target Park collab and here they come running in. I mean, this is just, I'm sorry, it is embarrassing. There's no reason to act like this. We're pushing and we're shoving people aside. Come on. We're cutting people. We're running around. We're flanking left. We're going under right. We're ducking, diving. What? And what disturbs me also is like there's little girls. Okay. I'm having to blur their faces. They're so young. Park Target drop. Okay. 801 and 804. It's completely gone. Everything is completely off the shelves. There's nothing left. Nothing left. I don't like to see especially girls that look like they're 10 or 12 already indoctrinated in this never-ending cycle that largely women have been persuaded into, I guess, found themselves in this situation where products and the next launch and drop culture and scarcity marketing have ruled our lives. They have dictated our schedules. They have consumed our thoughts and have the power to ruin our day. I hate to see girls that are that young involved in this. I really do. I do. It just doesn't stop. Okay. Like I said, every damn day there's a new Target drop. This was the Roller Rabbit drop. If you're not familiar with Roller Rabbit, they're mostly known for their $150 pajamas. Yes, you heard that right. Okay. They have the most heinous designs I've never seen in my life. To this day, I've never seen one good Roller Rabbit design. They look like adult doodles. They're haphazard. They make no sense. There's no cohesion. And that's totally subjective, but yeah. So they came out like a huge, humongous line. They had coolers, picnic baskets. They had just like literally every stupid trinket. Notebooks, pencils, pens. They had things that you can't even believe that they came out with. They had it. It was just one huge cash grab, and it had people lined up acting crazy, acting a fool again.
I got 2 pajamas.
Sending in your preteen to get pajamas. Sent her into this mess.
That's all I could get. These are the only 2 extra and extra small. This is an extra small and extra small.
Okay, then we've got people lined up outside. We're giving out tickets, and it's just like, I don't know what to say anymore about any of this stuff. How I move knowing I just shoved and elbowed 12-year-olds to get this Roller Rabbit drop. So we're knocking out, beating down on 12-year-olds to get consumer bullshit at Target. What are we doing? No, honestly, it's gone too far. When we are beating down on a preteen, obviously this is probably a joke. Okay, I hope it's a joke. But while you're doing this, I don't know how you don't look around, see that your elbow is in the eye of a 12-year-old girl, okay, who's also reaching for the Roller Rabbit Target pajamas. You're both wearing your road eye patches. I just don't know how you don't have a moment of like, I got to make a change, okay? Make a change. Stop this. It's not worth it. Okay, look at all this pile of junk that by the way, I haven't seen anybody wearing this crap beyond this drop, okay? I never see anyone wearing this stuff because it disintegrates. It's intentionally made poorly for these Target drops, okay? Go to the thrift stores, you will see. Target stuff is probably the most ubiquitous item that you see in the clothing section of thrift stores. There's more Target stuff than Shein. None of it's good quality. None of it's built to last. And yet we are doing things that we promised ourselves we would never do. We're actually, we have a 12-year-old in a chokehold. Meanwhile, consumerism has us in an even bigger chokehold. They have us in a suplex. Just shocking.
Let's see what I got inside the Roller Rabbit Target mystery boxes.
These companies are just inventing new ways. I mean, mystery boxes are like just the peak consumerism overconsumption strategy. You know, like the lottery system. I'm like, what am I going to get? I'm going to buy, spend this money to get something that maybe I don't even want with these mystery boxes. Target did this for the first time with the Roller Rabbit. It was just so stupid.
Here's the first one. I think it's a keychain. Oh my God. Oh my God, I got the heart keychain.
It's not even good stuff.
This is so cute. This is one of the ones I really wanted. It's another keychain. Yeah, it's the same keychain.
Same one.
Okay, let me know who wants this
same one.
I think this one's a keychain too, but I'm gonna be sad if it's the same one. Honestly, I wanted the keychains the most. These are both really cute, so I'm not mad about it.
At some point, it gets just too stupid for words. I mean, honestly. You think I'm type A? Meet my father, who took me to Target 2 days before the Roller Rabbit launch to come up with a strategy and a game plan. So they're scouting out the store for how they're going to rush in, probably body slam some kid to the ground and somebody's mom. It's not that serious. Okay, it's not that serious. My favorite animal is my mom on a mission.
The fastest cashier I know.
Look at how much stuff she has.
He gets down.
Okay.
He don't play.
I'm making a point here, by the way, with this. Don't worry. Look at the cart's full, just reaching in for stuff that they're not going to care about ever again. Do you think we got enough stuff? My mother, no. The whole cart is piled high with Roller Rabbit junk. Roller Rabbit junk. And this is the point that I'm making, okay? I feel like there is a psychology to camping out for these types of things and why people continue to do it and in participating in this, spectacle of running in for things. And obviously you get like the rush, of course, but I feel like the rewarding feeling that you get or that you feel after these types of events is being falsely attributed to buying things or like the brand. This brand set this up and like I had such a good time here. It was almost like an event of sorts. Like I had so much fun waiting outside in line. You're left with sort of a lasting memory of like this was actually sort of a fun time. And I think the real reason behind that is because you're simply spending time with loved ones. You're talking to people in line, you're meeting strangers who have a similar shared interest to you. I think that's the real reward. I think what's most unfortunate about all of this is that a lot of the ways that people are able to access this good feeling and able to spend time with their family or parents or, you know, do these types of fun things and talk to other people is largely happening through consumerism. Obviously, not all the time, but it is largely happening because of consumerism and around consumerism events. Okay. The road pop-up, like, it's fun. You're having fun because you are talking to other people and you have people that have a similar interest. Most likely that person shares a lot of things in common with you. It's fun to talk to people new in line. It's fun to discuss and connect with people. Okay. But all of these warm and fuzzy feelings that people feel are being attributed to consumerism when actually it's just spending time with family. It's spending time with friends. You guys go get your coffees, you wake up early, you sit in line for hours, you're watching shows in line together while you wait for these things. It's like you can be doing these things independent of, you know, buying things. And I wish people would start doing more of that, you know, decentering it. I think what's happened now is that because people have done this and have been rewarded in this way, I think people's lives have really become entangled in consumerism and overconsumption because they're constantly searching for that feeling again. They like go back and they go back and they continue to shop every single drop, and they get the dopamine rush of, oh my God, I'm going to secure this item and I'm feeling like I'm fitting in, right? But you're not actually fitting in because you're going to get dropped like a sack of potatoes. Okay, you're going to get elbowed in the face in a metaphorical sense the second that you stop doing these things. I think people need to start untangling themselves from consumerism and just start focusing on things that are like actually connect them with community and with things that have nothing to do with consumerism. And obviously easier said than done, but that's how I feel. So anyway, guys, that's all I have to say for this video. If you like this type of video, please subscribe. I would love it if you did that. Be on the lookout for some more videos just like this one if you did like it. Leave a like, okay? Many more coming very similar to this, but a little different, okay? So anyway, I will see you guys in my next video. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.